Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is MetroNews Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and MetroNews' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, the final hour this week. MetroNews Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nicholson, Stephanie Pauly, our producers. Coming up a little bit later on, it's Open Line West Virginia. I know you're going to want to weigh in on the Supreme Court and they're ruling on the Trump tariffs. We got that and other things to get to. Plus, we'll have a check of the weather, too. But right now, it's time for some sports. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour on what is a beautiful day here in the Kanawha Valley, at least. I mean, that's what they tell me. My wife sent me a text earlier and said, it's really nice outside. You should step outside. And so I did for a grand total of 30 seconds before I had to come in and do the show. So I get to see like 30 seconds of the outside. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story, wvenrich.com, a video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank, proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia. Back to the weather momentarily. We do have some winter weather rolling in, probably most areas on Sunday night into Monday morning. Depending on where you live, depends on how much accumulation you're going to get. Some areas in the state are going to get a whole lot. Some areas not so much, but it looks like just about everybody's going to get some accumulation of snow, just when we thought we were over. We'll talk to Bryan Hughes about that coming up a little bit later on. And as I said, we will get to Open Line West Virginia. But right now, let's talk some sports with your Weekend Sports Blitz. Here is Mr. Tom Bragg. How you doing, my friend?
Good, Dave. How are you today?
I am doing fine. Thank you for being here. I'm over winter. I don't know about you. Are you a winter weather lover?
For about the first couple weeks of it, and then it gets old pretty quick.
It really, here's the thing, though.
It's refreshing, to a point.
But here's the thing. Overall, this winter has not been bad. Overall, and I know people are probably throwing things at their radio right now, but if you look at like snowfall total, and Bryan Hughes will tell you this, snowfall total is actually down in most areas, not in all, but in most areas of the state. We just have had, when we had that, toward the end of January,
middle of January.
And when we had that, the in here in the Kanawha Valley, at least in other areas too, we had the snow, followed by the rain, followed by the freezing rain, followed by the snow on top. It just stuck around.
Yeah, we had about 6 inches of ice on everything for about 2.5 weeks.
It just stuck around a long time.
To your point, it really wasn't that long in the grand scheme of winter, but man, those 2 weeks felt like 2 months.
It just seemed like it. And of course, it caused some problems with high school athletics trying to get games in and so on and so forth. They've had a pretty good run, though, for the last week or two. The power index is out, and we've got it posted if you want to read about it, wvmetronews.com. It's also on our sports pages, social media pages as well.
Yeah, you've seen in Class 4A Washington out in the Eastern Panhandle. We talked last week about Spring Mills and how you got to keep an eye on the Eastern Panhandle. Washington's jumped up to number 1 this week. The Patriots are just kind of steady at the wheel. They haven't really slipped up lately, and you've seen some of the other top teams have slipped up. We saw Morgantown a few weeks ago down here in the Kanawha Valley, got upset by Hurricane over at West Virginia State. GW's been great this year, went on the road and lost at a very good team from Kentucky. I believe it was Boyd County, 1-point loss in overtime earlier this week. That was a great game. I was able to watch the stream of that. Dominic Sprouse, great guard for GW, hit a three-pointer at the buzzer to send that one to overtime. Unfortunately for the Patriots, came up a little short in the extra period. They dropped to number 3 this week, and it's still lurking down there, Parkersburg South. And that's going to be a big matchup in the MSAC Night of Champions tomorrow in South Charleston. GW and Parkersburg South, a rematch. The only in-state loss for GW this year. Harry Silvas from Parkersburg South, man, that dude is awesome. He fills it up. He's scoring 30-plus points a game. He was a big thorn in the side of GW last time around. I believe when they played Capital, he had 40, 45. So that guy can fill it up. And, of course, for GW, Noah Lewis going to Wright State, 6'7", all everything. That guy is a beast. Should be a fun matchup over at the Rec Center tomorrow.
And the girls' regionals came out earlier this week.
Yeah, girls' regionals are getting started next week. For the most part, everyone is wrapped up with the regular season. I think there's still a few out there that have maybe some makeups from the snow and ice that caused such problems a few weeks back. But Another good one, another rematch over at the MSAC Night of Champions tomorrow for GW. The girls' only one loss this season was against Parkersburg. The Big Reds coming to town, going to play against GW in that MSAC championship game. That should be a good one. Tournament caliber game. You look at the 4A state tournament every year, you see some familiar names like GW, Parkersburg South. Spring Valley is playing in the third place game against Parkersburg South on the girls' side. It really should be a fun day. But MSAC Night of Champions is an awesome event. If you've never been, the basketball is really high level. You get a dunk contest, you get a 3-point contest. It's a really cool thing they do every year.
Yeah, I mean it's almost a environment like an NBA All-Star game.
Yeah,
it's
a little bit like that. And we've seen so many great games and great names come through that over the. You think about O.J. Mayo and Patrick Patterson played in the MSAC Night of Champions. I believe Cookie Miller, the coach at Capital, was a player in the MSAC Night of Champions. Just here in the last few years, some of the guys, Brandon Napper, Tavian Dunn-Martin from Huntington, it's always really fun basketball over there. If you've got a chance and you're free tomorrow afternoon, slip over to the rec center in South Charleston. It'll be fun.
So weekend sports blitz. I don't know why I have a hard time saying sports blitz. I mean, sports just doesn't flow very well. I do want to say, on a sad note, we talked about it earlier this week a couple times on the show, that we lost a couple of coaching legends here in the Kanawha Valley, and of course their names are known statewide. Coach Jefferson, Roger Jefferson, longtime Capital High School football coach, and Scott Tinsley, who, was a different coach and coordinator at a lot of different schools, most recently at Buffalo, where his son-in-law, I think, was the head coach, and he served as the offensive coordinator over there. Talking about Roger Jefferson.
I never got to know Roger very well personally, but you almost feel like you know him, having done this in the Kanawha Valley as long as I have, the time I've spent talking with guys like John Carpenter at Capital, Steve Edwards at GW, Bryce Casto, longtime coach at Nitro in South Charleston. And you really kind of got the feel of just what a good man and how well regarded Roger Jefferson was, not just for coaching, but just for his role in the community. With Scott Tinsley, I knew Scott. I was a student at Nitro when he was the offensive coordinator there, so I've followed his career, for 30 plus years at this point. And man, say what you want about Scott, he got results on the football field. I think I said this on Dave Weekly's show the other day. If you follow the history of the single game or single season or whatever passing record is in the state of West Virginia, well, the kid from Buffalo broke it last fall, the single game record. Who was his coach? Scott Tinsley. The guy who he broke it from was a Scott Tinsley guy, and on and on. And you go back to the J.R. Houses and the Michael Scotts, and just over the years, there's been so many good ball players, and he really shaped the way people played football, not just in the Kanawha Valley and around the state. You think about that '98 Nitro team; they were an enigma. The way they threw the ball around, nobody had ever really seen anything like that at that level before. And as on the inside, as a student there, you heard all the noise about the Parkersburg. Oh, you're not going to beat Parkersburg playing like that. You're not going to beat Morgantown playing like that. And they were able to do it successfully. So it really changed the game. And not just in football. People forget Scott Tinsley was a heck of a girls basketball coach, too. He was the Nitro girls coach when those Meg Withrow teams were doing battle with Renee Montgomery and Alexis Hornbuckle over all those great games, those classic state tournament games. Scott Tinsley was right in the middle of all of that, really helped provide that platform for girls basketball to sort of become what it has become over the last 30 years, especially here in the Valley. We talk about all the good girls teams around here. A lot of that goes back to those big games between the Nitro and South Charleston or Nitro and Capital when they were up there.
Yeah, and I can tell you one time I was talking to Scott Tinsley. I got to know him, and I told this story earlier this week. I was working with another radio group here in the Charleston area that did St. Albans High football. And when our company did the St. Albans games on Friday night, wasn't always easy to do, because they quite frankly weren't very good. and so what we did was we did a coach's show, and we recorded it in front of a live audience on Thursday night and then played it back prior to the broadcast of the game. And I did the coach's show. And I would have to sit down, when you take out commercials for 50, 51, 52 minutes or whatever the case may be with Scott Tinsley, saying, okay, Scott, last week you went down to Cabell Midland and they had a running clock in the second quarter and you still got beat 80-0. What went wrong? I mean, what do you say? And after about 5 or 10 minutes, we would talk about last week, we'd talk about the opponent this week, and then Scott would just tell stories.
Yeah.
And that's how I really got to know him at that point.
Yeah, great storyteller.
Great. But I asked him about that 98 Nitro team one time. I said, at what point did you know how special that team was going to be? And he said, during the offseason. He said, well, we could see it in the previous season. He said, but during the offseason, especially when I saw the determination and how hard that they were willing to work and whatever. He said, I knew that team was going to be special, but I had no idea that team was going to be that special. So RIP to Coach Jefferson.
Yeah, I still tell people, Dave, I've been to hundreds of high school football games in West Virginia at this point. That 1998 season, the Nitro DuPont game, the game where J.R. House ended up breaking all the records, it was DuPont's last year. Tremaine Straughter was this all-everything running back. They were unbeaten. It was this battle of titans. I've never seen anything like that at a high school game. The crowd, the atmosphere. There were people parked all the way back out to the main road from Nitro High School and down along the main road. I mean, it was thousands of people. I've never seen anything like it, certainly at a venue the size of Nitro. And really, that was probably the game that put me on this path, unfortunately. For everyone else, they've had to deal with me since then. But, man, that's
what kept you from having to get a real job,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to go to ball games instead of going to the coal mines. You know?
and get paid for it. Real quick, yesterday we had Wayne Ryan, the executive director of the SSAC, on the show. And now girls have been competing in wrestling, but now we are going to have, as a sanctioned sport in West Virginia, female wrestling teams, and so on and so forth. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's awesome. You know, I got to cover a lot of high school wrestling when I was the low man on the totem pole in the sports department over at the newspaper. It wasn't that people didn't like the wrestling, but just the readership was so captivated with basketball during basketball season. Sometimes wrestling would fall through the cracks, and I really tried to keep that from happening. So to see what's happened on the girls' side over the last 5 or 10 years in West Virginia, it's been awesome, man. They are so passionate, and there's just so much. It's just so cool to see the girls come out and have that passion for wrestling, and the fans get into it, and they've just got great support. I haven't heard anyone with a bad word to say about it. It's been really cool to see it exist in this unofficial capacity, but getting the official sanction, the gold star from the SSAC, I think it's going to be really cool. It'll be interesting to see how it breaks down. I need to read up on it because I'm not as in depth with it as I'd probably like to be right now, but just to see how the classes break down, how they're going to set up the state tournaments, how they're going to have rankings and things like that. You know, for years you would go to wvmat.com to find all of those rankings that they had. Did an incredible job. Curious just to see that evolve on the girls' side. It's an exciting time. I know I trying to follow it. You follow the Facebook groups, you follow the reporters. It seems like it's been coming for a while now, and I know that they try to time this so that you don't force teams to have to have so many girls or you can't have a team. They want to be able to build this organically. So I think the SSAC has timed it right. I think the time is right now for it, and hopefully it takes off even more than it has. It's been really cool to see it get to this point. I'm excited to see what's in the future for it.
Let's switch gears and talk college basketball.
Sure.
Hit us up with the Mountaineers and Marshall.
Oh, well, Mountaineers side, on the men's side at least, rough week for the Mountaineers. You lose that game to Utah. I don't think Utah had won a game since the calendar had flipped. It probably takes the Mountaineers out of contention for an auto bid to the NCAA tournament. It was a long shot probably going into the Utah game, but man, losing a game like that's probably done now. So their only shot is probably to get hot and go on a run in the Big 12 tournament, and that's a long shot too. So rough week for the Mountaineers on the men's side. The women's side, another big game coming up this weekend. When you're as good as they are, a lot of the games end up being big games. They've got number 19 Oklahoma State coming to town. I believe that's tomorrow in Morgantown. You know, they're right there. They're sitting in third place behind TCU and Texas Tech. Baylor is a game behind the Mountaineers. Oklahoma State's a game behind Baylor. So don't sleep on Oklahoma State. They're a pretty good team. That should be a fun game on the women's side. Marshall basketball, don't look now. The Thundering Herd's in first place on the men's side. They came back from 16 points down, I believe it was, in the first half. They were down 11 at halftime. Had the freshman, Landon Joseph, had 24 points, hit the big fadeaway at the end. Marshall ends up beating Appalachian State by 1 point on the road in Boone. Now they're tied for the league lead with Troy. Troy has the tiebreakers on them, and they don't play head-to-head over the last couple of games. But the thing about that, in the Sun Belt, the top two seeds get a bye all the way to the semifinals. It becomes a two-game tournament. The way Marshall's been playing, I like the Herd's chances in a 2 or 3 game scenario. The trick is you don't want to slip up down the stretch here. You've got some winnable games, and that starts Saturday. They're at Coastal Carolina. That's a game Marshall probably needs to win to keep track with it, but it just seems like coming into the season, the expectations for Marshall was kind of hard to pinpoint expectations, but they've found ways to scratch and claw and kind of beat whatever expectations have been placed on them, and everything's still on the table right at the end. So it's a good spot to be in for Herd basketball this weekend.
What other big games are you taking a look at? Any as far as top 25 goes? Anything on your radar?
And not really on my radar. The high school stuff has been really big on my radar because it's playoff time. The regionals are out for the girls. Right, MSAC Night of Champions coming up on the boys' side. You know, South Charleston Capital in the third place game, that's going to be always an awesome game, big rivalry game here in the Kanawha Valley. They'll play for third place in the MSAC tomorrow. Championship game, another rematch, GW against Parkersburg South. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Really looking forward to that one. But that's not the only thing going on this weekend on the boys' side. I know the girls are kind of winding down, but, man, big games all over the state tonight on the boys' side. Maybe none bigger in AA, number 2 versus number 3. It's Wyoming East at James Monroe. Those are two really, really good teams. Tournament-type game should be awesome. Wheeling Central's unbeaten, number 1 team in Class A. They go on the road, take on Oak Glen tonight. RCB Bridgeport, talking about another big rivalry game. Harrison County doesn't get any bigger than that up there. Birds number 9 in AAA. In the power poll in Metro News this week, Bridgeport's number 4. Class A ball, couple games. Number 1, Tug Valley hosts Tucker County tonight. Number 2, Sherman's at Meadow Bridge. I got to note.
Wait a minute, is that Tug Valley game at Tug Valley, or is that?
I believe the schedule I looked at said Tug Valley was the host, but sometimes those things can be a little long.
I didn't know whether they were playing at like a shootout or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Because I'm just trying to figure out what's the quickest way to get from Tucker County to Naugatuck.
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe above my pay grade. I don't think I've made that trip before. I've made a bunch of trips, but I don't think I've done Tucker to Naugatuck before. That's an interesting one. Right. Sherman, number 2 team, kind of sneaky number 2 team in Class A. I don't hear a lot of chatter about the Tide, but they've been consistent this year. Just keep winning ball games. They're at Meadow Bridge tonight. Have you ever been to Meadow Bridge for any kind of ball game?
Not for a ball game. I have been in my former life when I was working in state government and when I worked for the Secretary of State's office. I did voter registration drives.
Okay, see, the Bragg half of my family is all from Meadow Bridge. Yeah. My grandpa won a football title at Meadow Bridge in 1958. So anytime we can get the Wildcats mentioned, I like to do it. They got a big game tonight. Sherman's a good team. And looking ahead just a little bit, it's a makeup game from the snow a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Class AAA, number 1 versus number 2, Capital and Chapmanville. That's going to be one, that tournament feel we keep talking about. It's that time of year, Dave. Just a lot of fun basketball all over the place.
Now, are you into the Olympics at all?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, Weekly's our Olympic guy, so I always defer to him on that. Any highlights for you?
The U.S. women winning the gold in hockey yesterday, coming back, beating Canada in overtime was great. And now we're looking ahead, trying to get the U.S. men into the gold medal game on Saturday, hopefully to get a rematch with Canada. I think that's the one everyone wants, but got to get through semifinal rounds. And I like the Olympics, but, man, it just seems like it drags on. Like, I want to watch all the hockey, and then I want to watch. It just seems like everything takes so long. My attention span is not great for the Olympics as it currently stands.
Well, speaking of attention spans not being great, of course, let's talk about NASCAR.
Okay.
NASCAR, they had some weather delays that they had to deal with, at Daytona last week, but they finally, they were actually, I think if I'm correct, I think they started the race early, I think is what they did. But I watched the final lap. The final lap was great.
That was all I saw of the race.
That's pretty much all you had to see was the final lap.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like, I don't follow NASCAR as closely as I did 10 or 15 years ago. So, some of the names, you don't know all of the names, and waiting for my buddy to give me the big fill-in on that. I didn't get the info dump this week. I think he must have been busy. But, yeah, that last lap was crazy. And you hear about the big one all the time. And then just the big crash there at the end. The guy slips through and wins it. Just cool race. Cool ending to the race as a novice or aloof NASCAR watcher. I wouldn't say fan, but someone who watches it. It was cool. Like, okay, NASCAR is back. We got a good race going on. We'll see how it goes.
Tom, if we could just change the names of some of the drivers, okay? Because it's hard as a hardcore NASCAR fan to get excited about when you have names like Hunter and Chase. We need more Bubbas, more Buddies, more Dales, more Juniors, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
we got to wrap it up there. Tom Bragg, Weekend Sports Blitz. I appreciate you being here,
no
my
problem.
friend. Thanks a lot. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll come back. Stay with us.
Brighten your mornings with Tudor's $5 Sunrise Specials. Enjoy our Mary B, egg, crispy bacon, and cheese on our buttery biscuit, loaded with more bacon than the rest. Or try the Ron, featuring a bigger, hearty sausage patty topped with egg and cheese on a biscuit so delicious you'll savor every bite. Each combo comes with crispy hash browns and your choice of coffee or iced tea, all for just $5. Warm up winter mornings with this hot deal. Available for a limited time.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WBRC Media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Join me at the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths, all under one roof. It's an outdoorsman's paradise. We'll see you March 7th and 8th at Milan Park. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Welcome back to the show. Closing few seconds here before we go to the bottom of the hour news, and after that we'll get to Open Line West Virginia. Also, we got weather. It always cracks me when people say we have weather, because don't we always have weather? But we got some weather we're looking at closely in parts of West Virginia, as in Old Man Winter is back. We'll talk to Bryan Hughes about it when we come back. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. The state Senate today passing a budget bill that includes a 10% income tax cut. Finance Committee Chairman Jason Barrett telling fellow senators he hopes the budget and tax cut bills can jumpstart negotiations with the House.
It sends the bill over to the House for them to come to the table on a tax cut. We've talked about offsets. The governor's talked about, everyone's talked about offsets. We have a plan here that starts that. It is now going to be in the House of Delegates for them to come to the table to talk about offsets that they will support, to get us to a tax cut that we can all agree to.
The House's proposed state budget includes no tax cuts. The House bill calling for financial reforms to the Hope Scholarship Program getting more work. It was taken off the House Finance Committee agenda earlier today. Wood County parent Alice Bonnell showed up at the Capitol today in support of Hope.
We just want to show them that Hope is not for a small sector of West Virginia. This year, the enrollment in the Hope Scholarship is expected to skyrocket, making it the largest school district in the state of West Virginia.
Read more from Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhaney at WVMetroNews.com. One of the men shot and killed in Huntington this morning was the middle school basketball coach at St. Joseph's Catholic. Darius Johnson of Huntington was 39 years old. His team won the Cabell County Middle School Championship just a few days ago. The other victim, 26-year-old Adrian Phillips. No arrests have been made. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. Embarrassed his dad ruins. I need to stand so all want.
Be yourself. This message presented by WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Died at a home in the city of Summersville. It's alleged that a man shot and killed his wife and his mother-in-law before turning the gun on himself. Again, we have a story this hour at WVMetroNews.com. The National Weather Service has issued several wind advisories for West Virginia. Very windy afternoon in the Mountain State. Some of those gusts in the state getting up to the 50-mile-an-hour mark. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where firsthand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 27 minutes away from 3. You got a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia. Well, you want to listen to this. Your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan, including room, board, tuition, and fees, everything taken care of. Talking about, of course, the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Deadline is May 30th. Head over to our website, WVMetroNews.com, WVMetroNews.com, and click on the Apply Now button. Deadline, though, is May the 3rd. We're going to get to Open Line West Virginia coming up here momentarily. A little bit of a delay in that, though, and I'll tell you why. But you can get your phone calls and texts ready. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We thought we were done with it, as far as winter goes, but you got to remember that it's just February 20th right now, and winter's still got a little ways to go. Some of the biggest snows that we've seen in our history have been in March, I think 1993. I remember even in April seeing some significant snowfall.
Easter.
That that you hear is meteorologist Bryan Hughes, who I wanted to bring him down here to just talk about what we are expecting, because we kind of got a little bit of a reprieve, and we didn't have, it's actually been the big deal. Last 24 hours in some areas has been high winds and a lot of water and some flooding and things of that nature.
Well, we had the tornado warnings around Ripley this morning. First tornado warning. First severe thunderstorm warnings of the year yesterday afternoon. First tornado warnings of the year this morning, about 1 o'clock this morning. And those were running through across portions of, Ripley area back over to Spencer. We had a couple of those tornado warnings. We had stuff that was possibly tornadic in southern West Virginia this early this morning. And then we had 51-mile-an-hour wind gust at Charleston Jaeger Airport within the last couple of hours. So it's been wild. But the snow is going to move in more than anything right around midnight-ish or so Saturday night.
Saturday night into Sunday.
Yeah, and then it could start a bit earlier than that in the higher terrain, but more than anything, we'll all be dealing with snow showers, albeit light to start on Sunday morning very early. Then as we go through the day on Sunday, make it a little slushy mid-morning, but then as we go into the afternoon, temperatures will continue to cool. So we go from 60s today, 50s tomorrow, and then we go 30s on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, with the snow accumulating enough in the mountains especially. There's going to be some gangbuster snow in the mountains.
How much are we talking about?
I mean, you go up to Snowshoe, we're talking about anywhere from 12 to 14 inches worth of snow. So that's great for them. But, we're not going to have it blowing around as much as it usually does. Still going to blow around a little bit up there. But you're looking at snow totals that could be on the, numbers-wise, across parts of Fayette County. We could have as low as maybe 4 inches of snow all the way up to about 6 inches of snow. Nicholas County, anywhere from 6 to maybe about 10 inches worth of snow, and that's when you get in the upper parts of the county. Webster, Pocahontas, Randolph, Tucker, you're looking anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow all the way up to 10 and 14 inches on the very tops of mountains, those biggest peaks that we all know of. But you get all the way up to Morgantown, you could see about 3 to 4 inches worth of snow. Now, this is all total. A lot of it's going to be plowed, and some of it is going to melt, but we all are going to see snow across West Virginia. The closer you get to the Ohio River, the less it is. Matter of fact, it could be a dusting to an inch or so. But as you get in the mountains, you get some gangbuster snows, like I said, anywhere from that 6, 10, all the way up to 14 inches. But this is going to be, this is truly an elevation-based snow. This is a northwest flow event. So in other words, it comes off of Lake Michigan. A lot of this moisture runs right up the top of the mountains. And on the northwest-facing sides of all these mountains, it is just a beautiful, beautiful scene.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is it. This is the last snow of the year.
Well,
wishful thinking. On
yeah,
my part.
Very much so. Because I think we've got this round. Then we're going to get a little break because by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday next week, we're back to the 50s. We do get rain going into the second half of next week. That's not fun because already, we've had all the flooding that's been happening across parts of the state. Rivers are up. They're all coming up collectively. They're all getting right. And not all of them, but most of them are getting just below what we call the action stage, just before we start to see some flooding effects. So we're getting close. But then when we go snow, and then we go back to the 50s, and then rain on top of that later this week, that's not going to be fun.
So that could be perhaps a bigger issue.
That could
perhaps.
be. Yeah, I think that could be the bigger issue. But one thing's for sure, on Monday morning, there's going to be a lot of schools that are not going to school systems. Counties not going to school. Once again.
Is there one area of the state that's not going to get impacted by snow?
No, everybody's going to get some snow, but when you're like, let's go Outwayne, as they call it. Outwayne gets probably the least amount of snow in the entire state, and the most snow is going to be up there, back up around Webster County, back into Pocahontas, Randolph,
which is
Tucker.
pretty much what you would expect.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not going to stick around as long as I was talking to Tom Bragg about that a little bit earlier. Overall, this winter has not been bad. Overall.
Right. I can tell you this. This is one of the worst winters that we've had from an impact standpoint.
Impact is the big thing.
Right. It is impact. It's the ice. It's the snow that stuck around, the cold that came after that. We're actually in the top 10 winters on record for as far as severity is concerned. But it doesn't mean snow piling up. We're talking about the impact, and that was the ice and the cold and the snow, all that layered up on top of each other.
I know how much you meteorologists on social media love when you put out a weather forecast and people say, well, what about this? Or what about these individuals? But somebody did specific. I'm only going to give you one. Somebody wanted to know about Beckley. And I'll do this and we'll let you go.
Beckley, you're going to see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches worth of snow, and the majority of that will start on Sunday morning early. It could be as late as 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Probably Sunday morning. Mixing in, it'll be all snow after that. But by the time you get into your Monday morning, Monday midday, you've totaled up about 4 to 6 inches worth of snow.
So most areas should plan on having a pretty messy commute, even maybe in the lowlands on Monday.
Yeah, because it will still be snowing on Monday morning in most areas. But it's messy. Thankfully, this is a slow snow because this really is a 48-hour style snow.
But we're not going to have all of the ice and all the other stuff that we had.
Right. Let me say this: we're not going to have ice falling, but we do have Sunday. We do have Saturday night, or excuse me, Sunday into Monday morning. That we have a flash freeze because things are going to be. It's going to be a very wet and heavier snow on Sunday, even though it's very lightly falling. But then it's all anything that's melted is going to freeze because we're going to be in the low 20s to teens, and so. Flash freeze possible. It's very icy on Monday morning with the snow still falling on top of that.
Meteorologist Bryan Hughes. Appreciate you being here, my friend.
You're more than welcome.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, let's get to some text. It is Open Line West Virginia. It is 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text said on the custodians issue we talked about, I thought cleanliness is next to godliness. Why do all these private and Christian school families want to take tax money away from public schools so they can't keep them clean, let alone to educate our children? Text says, Trump went down to Georgia looking for a vote to steal, says a texter. That should be a song. Text says, explain to me and the country how it could be a 6-3 Supreme Court decision on tariffs. How do 6 justices see the same thing? And 3 does not see this as a problem we have in our courts. Well, that's why you have that many people. They all have different opinions. Text says, just listen to Trump. There's no way anyone with an education can say he's smarter than a 5th grader. He just rants about anything, says the texter. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, more shilling for the coal industry, Dave. It isn't a becoming look, says the texter. I guess that must be a reference to on the local show when Charleston interviewed Chris Hamilton, the president of the West Virginia Coal Association. Maybe that's what that is about. Text says, when will these bird-brained politicians understand we don't want or need the Hope Scholarship? Quit trying to destroy our public schools, says the texter. Was Trump found guilty of sexual abuse? Does this mean he can't own a firearm or have one in his home? Says a texter. No, I don't think that's what it means. Text says, I don't want one dime of my tax dollars funding the Hope Scholarship. Well, here's the thing that you got to remember about your tax dollars. You don't always have a say-so. I appreciate the text. I understand you feel texter very passionately about this, but you don't always have a say-so on what your tax dollars are going to go for. So just keep that in mind. I mean, there's a lot of things my tax dollars go for I don't particularly agree with, but you really don't have much of a say. Let's grab a phone call. Let's go to John. You're on Metro News Midday. Go ahead.
Yes, I believe that the news media is dropping the ball, not on the Epstein files or anything like that, but on the victims, the children that were repeatedly and for decades molested, and nobody's doing anything about it. They're politicizing it, making it about the political party when it's really about the victim.
John, you are 100% correct. I appreciate that. We got to take the break, but John, you are 100% correct about that. That's what's getting and I'm going to editorialize a little bit. I don't think John would mind this, and then we'll go to break. I mean, it's all about the gotcha moments. We're going to get Trump, or we're going to get Hillary Clinton, or we're going to get this person. And in the meantime, a lot, regardless of your opinion on the politicos involved or not involved, or the mighty and the rich and whatever, a lot of people were hurt, and not enough is said about the victims. You're 100% right. 2:44. We'll be back after this.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all.
We've got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful radio show in West Virginia.
And the people absolutely love it.
But that's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talk Line, statewide sports line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
3 guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News,
the voice of West Virginia.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
New trucks. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Dyke Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Join me at the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths, all under one roof. It's an outdoorsman's paradise. We'll see you March 7th and 8th at Milan Park. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
The state's premier outdoor sports show back and bigger than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am returns to Milan Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th with over 100,000 square feet of everything that is outdoors. Over 200 vendors, too, all in one place. Complete details, WVOutdoorsportsShow.com and WVRC Media Events. Metro News Midday, open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says the Kanawha County Board changed the square footage rules overnight. One day it was based on square footage. Then the board had a meeting, rewrote, and reapproved the new policy overnight. It's on how rewriting policy typically works. Why was the board able to rewrite policy so quickly and without outside input? I appreciate the text. I don't know that to be true. I don't know that to be not true. So we'll look into it. Text says, all these people hating on parents having school choice need to ask, why are more and more parents pulling their kids out of public schools? My daughter took her kids out of public schools, and they are thriving. Text says, it looks like the Trump tariffs are gone. You know what's not gone? The high prices of products due to the tariffs. Corporations know we'll pay the higher prices, so they're not lowering prices, and they'll sue for their part of the tariff money. Looks like the robber barons are getting a double windfall from the tariff returns and profits from overpriced goods, says the texter. Text says, I hope service personnel and all school employees across the state realize how voting Republican turns out for them. The state has $1 billion in the rainy day fund and all kinds of other savings accounts, but they give the big middle finger to public schools. That's what I heard from that delegate, says the texter. The text says, Dave, I appreciate your stance on coal. I've been around coal mining my whole life, and we need more people standing up for it and not just giving it lip service. West Virginia would be nothing without coal. Thanks, and have a great weekend, says the texter. Text says, Trump is a lame duck, no longer able to use tariffs as cudgel to bend people to his will. Now he's going to try to use an executive order to impose tariffs. What's next when that doesn't work? Bring war to everyone. Trump's wheels are spinning in the mud. The U.S. is going to get money and get left with the cleanup cost, says the texter. Text says, more high water issues overnight in southern West Virginia. Same old story. Trash-filled creeks and ditch lines. It never ends. Text said, I hear you interviewing Republicans, and some I would vote for, but because the Republican Party said they don't want or need my independent vote, I will vote Democrat, and probably will in the general election in November, too. Text says, the NCAA better hope WVU makes the tournament, or else they'll have to deal with JB lawsuit McCuskey, says the texter. Text says, the Epstein files are political. The victims do need justice. Which party right now is running cover for a pedo ring and denying those victims their justice, says a texter. Okay, no. Text says, the Hope Scholarship is the most important West Virginia education policy in my lifetime. With full implementation starting next school year, lawmakers shouldn't kneecap it before it gets off the ground. Instead of attacking Hope, let's fix public schools, pay teachers, and cut regulations. Hope students aren't draining public school funds. The administrative bloat of 54 redundant central offices are, says the text. It's actually 55. Text says the Supreme Court isn't supposed to rule based on opinion, says a texter. Okay, don't know what that says. Text says, everybody has a right to school choice, but not paid for by me and my fellow West Virginians, says the texter. How about you guys stop cheerleading the No Hope Scholarship? Since you're reporting your personal opinions, please tell us if you like your tax dollars paying for private schools and homeschooling. It's not right. Put it on the ballot. Let West Virginians vote, says the texter. Text says, so Trump has now hung a giant banner of himself at the Department of Justice. What TH is wrong with this guy, says the texter. Ask the delegate why taxpayers should pay for the No Hope Scholarship. A tax cut gets the average West Virginian $2 a week. Not worth it, says a texter. I guess to the texter I had to read this to see what they meant by this. The texter who said something to the effect of we'd be nothing without coal. This texter says, what are you talking about? We are nothing, says the texter. I strongly disagree. 2:54. We're back after this to close it out.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I
think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kurzweil. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thoron.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Join me at the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths, all under one roof. It's an outdoorsman's paradise. We'll see you March 7th and 8th at Milan Park. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.